When you think about recreation in the town, what comes to mind?
I can start with the word, I guess, deficiency. I look at our community, and today it was announced East Hants has just gone to tender for exactly what we think is a major recreational deficiency. I guess our pool at the YMCA is now over 50 years old, and if anyone's been there, it's kind of like a big bathtub, and we see all communities of this this size or greater, approximately this size, all now have new appropriate facilities with could have a splash pad, 6-lane, 25-meter pool, water slides, therapeutic pool for which would be a great benefit to an aging population, and a bright, roomy space, a community hub that would I would say more than double the uptake by the residents that it now serves. And so I said, yeah, East Hants, $19 million facility. They just I was in the Chronicle Herald today, basically that, and we see the same facility a few years ago was constructed in Bridgewater. Also 3-4 years ago in Pictou County Wellness Center. Beautiful space, very warm, inviting community hub. All throughout, even smaller areas even have a better aquatic center than we have, like in Cornwallis. Yeah. I was thinking, when they looked like they were going to close, I was thinking, geez, I wonder if we could move that here. That'd be a big improvement, right?
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
What are we doing with that pool?
Yeah.
But I think the residents of Yarmouth deserve better facilities than currently what they're served with. And even our gymnasium at the Y, we see that there's every night when I'm at the Y, there's kids that just walk in to play basketball, and they're waiting because sometimes Kids Act is in there, and they say, oh well, we'll wait till we're done in a few minutes, and we're currently using half the gymnasium space as the fitness, the weight area, when really that area could be used by basketball, badminton, things that aren't there. And I guess there was a needs assessment and a survey put out to the residents of this area, which said that 70% of those that responded said that their recreation needs weren't being met by the current facilities that we had. Yeah. So that, I think that says it right there. And I believe it was 78% supported a expansion of the Mariner Center that would also give the new aquatic center, the walking track, and proper gymnasium, multi-purpose space, and it would be completely accessible and located at a better area that would serve the tri-counties better, where it's at the end of 2 highways. So easier and more accessible for all the residents of the tri-counties.
Recreation in this community has always been focused and still seems to be mostly around team sport. So I feel we're really lacking in what we can do for the community so that everyone can be active and so that families can be active together. So all generations, one of the things that would be really great about having a facility that the YMCA is able to accommodate some of that need, but there's many needs that we would like to be able to meet that we can't in our current facility. So for instance, the aging population, which really is even more so, I think, than children and youth. The aging population is really who require recreational services in our community more than any other part of our population. So we've been trying to add some services, and we have been successful in the last year or so in expanding what we're offering for our senior members, but some of our offerings are really challenging because of our space. So for instance, we have a really great studio for fitness, group fitness programs. It's not accessible to anyone that has mobility issues because it's downstairs. And things like the therapy pool that Chris was talking about, we have a pool that we're trying to accommodate both a swim team who really wants a cooler temperature and use a large amount of the time that's available in the pool. And so when some of the elderly population that come in for instance, some of our swims earlier in the day, they find it too cold. They do manage. I mean, we basically have the temperature somewhere in between what everybody would like. And so that's one of the issues, is just temperature itself. But then accessibility to the pool. So we have a lift that will allow people who have a difficult time getting in and out of the pool. But it's something that we need to plan ahead for. People need to call ahead so we can make sure that the lift is put in place and that all of the things that are needed, you know, they have to bring someone with them that can assist them, because we don't have the resources to make sure that if someone who doesn't have support and wants to come in and use the facility right now, we don't have the resources to be able to really meet their needs. So they have to have someone come in with them, and we have to have that lift in place. A therapeutic pool would completely take care of that, because they're set up usually so that someone can just walk right in.
Yeah.
It's a
With
shallow
the ramp,
pool,
with the ramp.
warmer temperature, all of those things. And if we had a therapeutic pool set up next to a pool that's at least 25 meters in length, you can have your swim team doing their thing while the therapeutic pool is also being able to be used by people.
Well, we've got some studies here from the Nova Scotia Health Authority that show that I guess this end of the province have, even compared to the rest of Nova Scotia, have higher rates of diabetes, have higher rates of chronic illness, have higher rates of obesity, and that's compared to the rest of Nova Scotia, which does not compare well to the rest of Canada, which is not saying a lot for our population. But in that, I think that there is a definite statistical, maybe even greater need, and we do have even a more elderly population here also.
Yeah.
And those things combined, I think the innovative part, we'd like to, there's many ways to use, I mean, everyone has a cell phone now, and with technology, we could, I guess, incorporate that into the new facility and actually run a study over a period of years where we're talking about free access to these facilities, and then measure the health outcomes compared to the statistical data we already have.
A living lab.
Yes, exactly,
yes.
a living lab.
Yeah.
Statistically, we suffer from these conditions even more so than the general population of Nova Scotia and or Canada. And with this, we would hope that building these improved facilities, which we are also showing compared to the rest of Nova Scotia and Canada, we are also more lacking in. So is there a correlation between our lack of facilities that could assist in our health issues, and if we improve the facilities, will then that improve the health outcomes of our populations? And that could be a study in itself to prove, but more so in that I guess that's a portion of the innovation that we would think that we could also use the handheld devices and or cell phones to help link the facility to the users and promote it, and et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's what we first of all come up with, because
Is linking them to the facilities an issue right now? Is there a lack of participation because they don't know that it's
Absolutely.
what's there?
Well, when you think about the fact that we're such a small community but spread out over a large geographic area, and when you have a facility that is meant to be available to everyone. So, you know, here we are trying to do a little bit for every need in the community, so we're only able to do a little bit. So when you're the person that wants to come in to do something, say you live 20 minutes outside of town and you're wanting to access a basketball court, it'd be great if someone would be able to very easily look and see, when is the time that I can go and do that? How, you know, if it's necessary to sign up for something, to be able to just sign up on their way in, or to be able to look and go, oh, I'm not going to be able to get in on that one, and not drive in 20 minutes for no reason, and instead take a walk while they're, you know, waiting for the ability to go and do that.
So I heard one of the challenges is that not only do we have, you know, a higher, an older per capita, but, you know, we have lots of mental health challenges, and we have a lot of people that are marginalized through income or some other situations. So what do you, given that you accept that that is a large problem, especially in our community, how do you see recreation and I guess maybe tools that we can use to actually make that number smaller? What do you think, Derek?
I think that it's been pretty well shown that recreation is an excellent tool. Physical activity and just all types of recreation, again, to help with mental illness and those types of issues. The problem becomes, again, engaging these people that may not even want to be engaged. And I think a lot of times you almost have to find a passive way of bringing it into their life without them even knowing. And I think the idea of centralizing some stuff to bring whole families is an excellent idea. I just wonder if it doesn't necessarily address that specific group of the population that is like almost against it. Like they're like they can't be bothered to go there. Yeah, because that generally that would affect the whole family, right?
On the low income part, I guess is it 1 in 9 members of the Y are sponsored? Because the Y, of course, doesn't turn anyone away. You know, financial means has, you know, no indication where the Y comes into matters, right? I think that stat is correct.
Yeah, 1 in 9 and about 1 in 5 children.
When you picture the future, how has recreation changed the town? Like when you envision the future, just again, you're pie in the sky, right? Like, and you see that vision, how has it morphed or changed the town?
At the moment, I guess I'm getting the idea that my phone is controlling my life. We're pretty close now, but we're getting there.
I know. It's funny because when I came in here, I thought recreation should not involve technology because I need a break. And I'm like, yes.
Well, that doesn't mean while you're doing the activity
Yeah.
you
Yes,
need to be connected.
Safety button. There should be a safety
Yeah. I honestly, the thing that I always envision is a very high energy, buzzing, people around wherever you go.
My final point of the location of the Mariner Center is that we're looking to appeal to the tri-counties, not just the people who live, the 100 people that live in walking distance to the Y. We're looking at servicing, I guess, 25,000.
I think it's
6,000.
No, tri-counties.
No, tri-county, 25.
She's saying 6,000
Yeah, I know.
for
I don't
walking
know how it would
distance
be
of the
hard.
town.
No, I wouldn't
We have
consider.
an entire population.
My children wouldn't consider what I live in on Sprucer Drive, and my children wouldn't walk to the Y.
I think maybe there's an opportunity for some like just satellite kind of facilities. Like it's a great place for a pool. I don't think I would argue that at all. But does everything need to be in one place? I don't think so.
Well, I guess it's efficiency. Like I said, for parking lot, you don't have to build another parking lot. Heat recovery from the ice plant, that saves tens of thousands a year. And also, like I say, for the family, where they can, each family, if the parent doesn't want to want to coach the hockey, or they don't want to go in the pool with the mother and child. They can do it. So I guess it's efficiency of time that I think a lot of people look for
I
nowadays.
think that's part
I'm
of
one
the
of them.
why parents are choosing to put their kids in, the dance school downtown or in an activity that's at the Y, because then they can go to SIP or do their shopping while they're waiting for their child to be done that activity.
Well, I'm going to say that's really awesome input.